Practicing scales provides musicians with multiple growth opportunities. When you practice a scale, you build core technical capability, you increase your understanding of how music works, and you develop your ear. Practicing scales is simply that beneficial. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris. Today you will learn the stupidest, most helpful scale drill. Now, this is just the way with any study. Sometimes we have to do boring stuff. Like imagine a track athlete trying to get to peak performance. In order to run faster, I have to go to the gym and do leg presses. The leg press is the most boring and horrible thing I could ever spend time doing. That's why I bring my earbuds, because I'm bored, right? But when I go back out onto the track the next day, I can run faster, right? I've got results from doing something that's repetitious and boring. So for musicians, there are many, many different ways to play scales. I want to show you a drill that is very, very enlightening. Now there's a few moving parts in this drill, but it's not hard to do, which means each time we run across one of these moving parts, we enable ourselves to see where we are skill-wise. Can we solve this technical problem? Can we generate success on a simple task like this? Now, the good news about this scale drill is that it's so easy to understand that cognitively our load can shift into solving the problem physically. There's simply not a lot to keep track of, so we can develop real technical capability and find dramatic results very, very quickly. Let's zoom in. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So let me just jump in and show you what we're going to do. We're going to be on the B string for this whole exercise, and we're going to be using the D major scale. Now, the major scale is something you really should integrate if you don't know it already. The formula is whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Now that pattern is important, right? That's the pattern we're going to be using underneath this exercise, so you really have to have it down. Sometimes it's very, very beneficial to say these scale degrees as you go, and notice that the half step, the only two half steps in this scale, are between the third and the fourth note and the seventh note and back to the root. Watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our first half step. 5, 6, 7, 1. Doing it backwards is really helpful because you really have to stay awake to it. 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The exercise is this. We're going to use a 3-note pattern. This is just ascending through the scale. The first 3 notes of the scale. And we're going to play those 3 notes twice. Okay? Now, pay attention to my picking hand and watch what's going on here. I'm using only alternate picking. That is, every time I do a downstroke, the next thing has to be an upstroke. When I play the pattern the first time, the picking pattern is down, up, down. When I play it again, it's up, down, up. So when I play this pattern twice through, down, up, down, up, down, up, I get a really perfect sort of capsule of alternate picking, which helps build my synchronization between hands. Right off the bat, if you try this right now, and that's a challenge for you, you are about to cement your alternate picking in a way that maybe you have never done before. Large benefit is heading your way. Just there, just with that much of the exercise. But the exercise is this. We're going to take that same 3-note pattern, play it twice, and we're going to push that pattern through the scale. So each time we move through the scale, we'll be changing our fingerings, right? Watch, I'll play it for you once. And ending on the root again, right? So that's the pattern. 3 notes in a row, playing twice, and moving it up through the scale. Notice how our fingering changes as we pass over those whole steps and half steps. So we've just drilled the scale, got our alternate picking together, and we're also watching our hands move over these positions and change the fingering dynamic in our fretting hand. Now, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to take that pattern, start at the high part of the scale, and push it back down. end on the root again. Making sure that each note is really nice and clear. Now at this point, if you've tried these and either one of those is tricky, you're going to get a lot of benefit from this exercise. One of the things I always tell my students is when you can't do something, that should appear, instead of, oh geez, I can't do it, it should appear to you as a pot of gold. This is going to give you immediate results. Okay, so far we've got this ascending and we've got a descending. Right? Now what we're going to do is the same exact thing, but now we're going to change the permutation of the 3-note pattern. So instead of going up, we're simply going to descend the pattern. Same picking pattern, everything's the same, we're just descending with our fretting hand. Now the thing that's going to happen here is every time we change positions, every time we shift positions, we're going to be doing it now with our pinky. Now you know what's coming up next. We're going to do the same thing, descending, the 3-note pattern descending, and we're going to push it down through the scale. And end on the root again, right? Just to give our ears a place to rest. We're also doing a little bit of ear training here as well. Those two permutations, just those two permutations alone, ascending and descending, moving through the scale, ascending, and moving through the scale, descending, while all the while working on your alternate picking. Those two permutations alone should prove out to you, even just try those two. If there's any bumps in the road for you, if any one of those permutations or iterations is hard for you, you will get massive benefit from this just playing it for 5 minutes. 5 minutes a day for 2 or 3 days, you'll see massive benefit. Okay, I strongly recommend you just give this a whirl today. Get the guitar on your lap and give it a swipe. See what happens. In each one of these moving parts of these drills should expose a place in your playing, a place in your capability that has a deficit. And instead of going, oh my gosh, I can't do that, you should see each one of these deficit moments as a pot of gold, because this drill is so easy to do, right? It's so easy to comprehend and play. You can get dramatic results in just 3 or 5 minutes. I promise you, if you find the speed bumps in this drill and you work through them, everything else you do, whenever you're playing other scales or chords or learning songs, you'll have better physical capability, your ear will be better, and you'll start to see and understand the underlying principles just as a result of working this drill. Tabs for this lesson are on my Patreon page, and I've included all of the permutations, all of the iterations of that pattern. I only showed you a couple, but there are a few more and a longer video on my Patreon page. Head on over there if you want to grab that, take a look at the tabs, get this under your finger. Also, if you're enjoying my videos, these videos are giving you some aha moments, you're finding some real insight, and you want to go a little deeper, consider joining me in my online guitar academy called The Studio. Links to register there are in the description below. I hope you'll join me, and if you do, I look forward to working with you. I hope you've seen some value in this lesson. As always, stay curious, and I'll see you next time.